Okay, just setting up, setting up, setting up, setting up, setting up. Okay, so I'm live, and I just want to hang out for a little while before I go have my food. I've not made the announcement yet. Let me just do that. There we go. Oh, hiccup. So yeah, I've got a little bit of time before basically I need to go and eat something because I'm super hungry. It's cold. Why is it cold? I do have some good news. Some good news. And that is that the hot tub is repaired. Which is cool. I'm actually going to shut the door and then I'm going to come back. Oh, leg stretch. I've just been doing. There we go, door shut. Life support system is online. Right. So, what's that?
Hello.
Oh, hey. So I've been doing a bunch of editing for pictures and stuff for the new pic dump that's coming up. Oh my god, there's just so many pictures all the time, every time. Only about 170, but that's still a lot of pictures. Oh no, it's actually 200 because I'm also including the artwork as well. Fun. I don't think it's going to be put onto the LiveTUBBSchill channel because basically the pictures, they do not make noise.
That's very true.
Hey, Dreamy. I thought you were going to class.
Hi, Jacob. That's my question too.
Oh, okay. That makes no sense. Oh, shut up. Every time I stream. I don't know what that is. I really don't, because when I'm just talking to Damon, I don't yawn. But every time I go on stream, I just, like, for some reason, start yawning. Weird.
Oh, he's... I wonder what they're talking about. It's taking a while.
I'm sure it's not really important.
Probably not. The lecture's just like keeping them in there for like no reason except to just like annoy everybody with pointless information.
Basically. The things you're sitting on are chairs. Just, yes, Brenda. What's a chair? Oh, Dreamy, you know this.
You start asking me like really complicated questions where you actually have to go into like the science of just like, I have a question. How does this chair hold up my weight? And then you just like have to start going into like proportions and all that. Just like, yeah, I don't know.
Let me check my mail. So what's been happening on the Discord? I noticed that people seem to be having a crappy day, but they're not so crappy at the same time, so I don't know exactly how to feel about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just having to deal with other people, that's the problem. So it's just like once that situation is kind of it's kind of resolved, it's just like afterwards you just like you have all this leftover feelings where you have to like basically somehow get them out. So you have to go and just start bitching about how freaking crap the situation that you're just in was. Yeah, because like after that whole incident with the dude, the random dude, I don't know why he fucking did something like that either. That's what pissed me off the most, because I was really trying to be like all nice, you know, being like, hey man, so it's time for you to go, and like you know, it was just like, you know, I understand he needs to find some best rest, so I'm just like, you know, but then like I don't even bother people until like the end of my shift. If they have to rest, they can go have rest, but like, you know, I have to cover my ass because if my boss sees like people on property just loitering and shit, then I'm gonna be in talking, you know. So I'm just like, yeah, all of you have to go because I don't want to put myself in jeopardy for you assholes when none of you would actually do the same thing. So it's just like, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know why people act the way they do, but it's just irritating.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because like right after that, there was a couple, but not that couple, I guess. Were kind of having, I guess they were having a rough time because like I saw them beforehand. I didn't say anything the first time they passed by them, but then the second time I was just like, hey, could you guys just like loiter somewhere else? and I don't know what they're talking about. But like later on, I was just like sitting at one of the tables on the property, and the woman, she like came up and she was all like, that was the most emotional not breakup ever. I'm just like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but kind of funny way, because like I knew she like wanted to like get it off her chest, so I'm just kind of just like, okay. I guess I'll just listen, but not really say too much.
Damon's in the garden doing something with the hot tub.
What to do?
Well, I'm just kind of like trying to listen to both you and him at the same time. Because I don't know. I think he just disconnected the hose because he filled up the hot tub.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Wow. What? I'm just running Jacob's things.
You can.
He's been awake since 7 a.m. yesterday. That's a really long time to be awake.
But he turned these projects in on time, so that's good.
Oh, that's good.
With the weird chair picture thing.
The repeating chair.
Just I get that you're trying to you're trying to make an almost fractal like pattern, or not really fractal pattern. I understand what the point is of the exercise. It's just kind of like, I'm so glad I don't have to deal with art shit like that. I literally would have done it all on the computer.
Hugs, Jacob. This will see you.
So, I don't think. No. I was also hit with a random piece of information just now, and I don't think it's true. I think he says he's in Canada, but I got a random message from Hellboy66. He was talking about his motorcycle and stuff, and said that it was cold and that it was 0 degrees C. And I was like, wait a minute, it was cold here too. But I think he lives in Canada, but I'm not entirely sure. Well, I think he said that he lived in Canada for one of his old messages, but I'm not entirely sure.
I want a friend who lives in Canada so I can go visit.
Just because you have friends places doesn't mean that you can just go visit.
I hope he's okay, though, seriously.
Who?
Hellboy66.
I'm sure he's fine. He sent me a message, so I'm guessing his fingers work.
Yeah. He's not frostbitten yet.
No.
Okay. It's cool.
My remote isn't working. Sleep star illumination. Wow, it really isn't working. There it is. We heard what happened to Itchy as well. Well, you did because I read it.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. What happened to him? It's just like this lady is like making assumptions based off like this piece of mold or whatever. I guess I don't know.
No, I get it. I just think it's stupid. I don't know why you should have to pay for that. It's so annoying.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense at all.
So yeah, like I said, just because some people live places doesn't mean that you can just go visit. That's really annoying, because that would be awesome.
Well, why not?
Because the actual traveling part costs money.
So,
You
I'll
know.
pay money to go to Canada.
Well, that's nice for you.
I mean, I'm setting up money to go to Vegas, so it's just like,
Yeah, no, but that's different. That's like it's a planned vacation kind of thing. Whereas it's not like you could just go visit somebody in Canada and then go to Vegas.
I suppose. Well, no, I mean, because I don't even have my passport, so I wasn't even talking about that. But, it's just like, I mean, I'd love to just, like, go and visit somebody, just, like, save up, make arrangements, to go see somebody. All those stuff.
Well, that's what I mean, though. It would be awesome to do that, but you can't do that. It's really annoying. I've got a friend who lives in Iceland, and he basically really wants company. But it's just that it's really expensive to fly to Iceland ever since the whole volcano thing.
I'd love to go to Iceland. It's so nice.
That's exactly what I mean. It's just, you can't just do that. It's really annoying because teleportation isn't a thing yet.
You should be able to. Why aren't you able to? My gosh, it doesn't make any sense.
No, it does. It's too much sense. Okay, there's a fly.
It. You're tearing my argument apart.
There's a fly that is being very brave and keeps landing near my ear on my face.
Hope you don't hurt yourself. Hey, Chris.
It's on my TV, which I cleaned, so... No way! Oh, I didn't. Okay. I killed it. Oh, I broke my, there's a bit of the hand is broken. Shit.
Chris, do you believe in life after love? Because I really don't think it's strong enough now.
That's a relief. It looked like it fell, like I killed it, and then it fell right into my drink.
Yeah.
But it didn't. It just fell on my desk right next to my drink. Go feed the spiders somewhere. Anyway, hey, Chris. I need to say Tubbs then because I was reading my name. I have all the pictures that are going to go onto like Grommer and Phoebe and Chessable and all that stuff are now on my phone and they're ready to be just uploaded. I have all the pictures that are not edited yet on my computer, so I'm basically ready to start editing them before they get edited into a video. See what I mean? Though it takes forever. I mean, it's just so boring. So yeah. But no, these are also all of the Instagram pictures. I'm going to be using this instead of using the other phone for Instagram as well. So that's good. Do you know what you're having for dinner? A lot of. I'm having cheesy chips because we have some leftover cheesy chips, and I'm also having like a lot of mini pizzas because Damon over-ordered on the pizza bases. So that's good. It's a good thing I didn't order pizza last night, or I'd be sick of pizza.
Some Zaz. I would love some Zaz right now.
But yeah, pizza yummy. And I'm gonna have a sip of my not fly contaminated drink.
I used to get pepperoni and mushroom pizza all the time. Now my tastes have changed a bit, but I still love pepperoni and mushroom on pizza. It's a great combination. And banana peppers. Banana peppers are awesome. I love banana peppers.
Right. Oh yeah, Chris, you weren't there. Where were you yesterday? Where was Chris yesterday? He wasn't on the live stream, was he?
No. Unless I don't remember. I didn't know if he had like come on earlier. And I just missed him or something. So. Catching up on sleep. That's good. Sounds good to catch up on sleep. Seriously, I would love to just go hide underneath the covers and not have to worry about anything for like a month. And just like hide away underneath the covers in some cold place in the part of the world and just like, you know, just kind of snuggle and sleep and really deal with.
I'll go do that. Take a vacation to Iceland.
Yes. If I moved to Iceland, y'all invited to come. Like I'll be at the same time, just you know, have a house party in Iceland. Damon too. He's fun too.
I've always wondered why people live in Iceland now. You know, I kind of don't get it. I mean, I think it's mainly because it's like the most volcanically active place on the planet. That is kind of the worrying thing about Iceland, you know.
Yeah, I suppose. But I hear it's like a very nice place to live, though. So, I mean, just that aspect of it. So.
I mean, that is nice. I mean, it's a nice place, but it's just that I would worry too much about the whole exploding hill that is next to me.
No, don't worry too much about the exploding hill.
I know.
and you have to just like move. I guess I don't know.
Well, I'm weirdly paranoid about this bullshit because basically, like, I'm just the kind of person that this bullshit would happen to. Every time I go to America, every single time, I'm always a little bit worried that basically, like, oh, you know, Yosemite National Park is going to explode. Just when I'm there, because that'll be just my fucking luck. I mean, when I went to Los Angeles, holy crap, was I worried about like earthquakes and shit? I mean, not when I was there, but just before I was going there. It's just the anxiety thing.
Yeah. I mean, that's understandable, though. I mean, because California is just like on like fault lines to stuff.
I think one of the main reasons is because I was gonna go to Japan. I was gonna go visit Japan because I had a work opportunity there and everything, and it was awesome. It was gonna be awesome. I was gonna go there, have my interview, and basically like then spend like a week in Japan. And it was going to be so cool, and I was so looking forward to it. And then the tsunami happened. Like, it happened a month before I was going to go. And the job opportunity was no longer available on account of the company didn't exist because its main building was washed away.
Wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That's crazy.
And my friend moved away. The friend that I was going to stay with, basically, that had gotten set up this opportunity, he moved to New Zealand now. So it's like, yeah. This is exactly the thing I was thinking was going to happen when I was there. I was going to think to myself, I was actually thinking to myself, I was getting a little bit of anxiety that basically, like, it's going to be an earthquake or something, you know, which is going to shut down the airport and I'm going to be stuck there. I'm going to be stranded there for at least a month or something stupid. You know, I mean, or I could die. I mean, that was something. But mainly the stuck there, being stranded, because, yeah, it's just so fun.
Well, I mean,
and then
you die, it's not so bad because then you don't have to worry about wheelchair.
I know. That's why that's what I was going to say, but I was trying not to be such a downer. But instead, what happened was basically the thing that I was worried about happened a month before. So it was like awesome. And then when my date actually came, I hadn't booked any tickets or anything yet, so that was kind of thankful, I guess. But when the date actually happened that I was actually going to go there on and everything, I basically just hadn't heard back from like the company or basically my friend, besides him saying to me that he was okay. So it was like, yeah, I'm not going to go to Japan. Fuck, dude, I'd love to go to Japan one day. I do want to go to Japan one day. I do actually want to go to Japan one day. It would be cool. Because, well, apparently it's incredibly friendly and everybody knows English already, which is nice for me because I can't learn other languages. I'm very stuck with my European languages in my brain. And a tiny bit of Hindi.
I would try to like speak the language, just like be really horrible at it and have people just laugh at me and I have no idea what's going on.
That's the main thing that I'm always worried about in like when I went to Berlin or when I did the kind of couple weeks of backpacking.
Yeah.
It was more like training around Europe and stuff. I was traveling with a friend for half of the journey from Germany to south of France, and basically he only spoke German. So it was kind of a thing of like he would speak in German, but he understood English, and I spoke English, but I understood German. So it was really funny, basically having conversations and seeing other people flip because they don't get it.
Yeah.
But we didn't have to translate for each other because basically it was like we didn't, you know, I only know a little bit of Spanish, and there wasn't. I don't know any Italian, but Spanish and Italian are kind of very, very close languages, so it was kind of half and half, and it was just funny. It was just funny, basically, like us translating for each other in different languages, you know. Because he'd say about like oh, it's an. I remember him basically joking in German that saying in German that it's like oh, it's an Italian restaurant, they do Italian food, and I was just like, yeah, I know, right? It's just like, why would they even say Italian? Wouldn't they just say a traditional food? We're having this conversation outside of basically an Italian fast food place, and
That's funny.
and there was an Irish tourist who basically walked past and said, "I'm sorry, are you guys having trouble deciding where to eat?" And I was like, and he said, "Yeah," and I said, "Yeah." He's like, "Can you understand each other?" and then he said in German, like, we understand everything that we're saying to each other. It's fine. No, we get this a lot. And the Irish guy basically just looked at me because he didn't speak German, and he said yes. It was just so weird. But yeah. But that's the main problem why I don't speak German to him is not because I don't know any German. It's mainly because I don't want to offend him by butchering his language. And that's kind of the story with everything. Besides, it's already hard me talking with my regular English without having to translate it into German. And yeah, my stutter would go crazy. Yeah, so yeah. Also usually takes a while. When I went to Berlin, it basically took a while for me to acclimatize, a couple of days, for me to actually. First, I didn't understand anything, and then the second day, I kind of got pidgin German, and then I could read German pretty easily and understand what people were saying. So yeah.
What is Chris talking about? Where? Hindi? What?
When I learned Hindi, I didn't learn it. It's because I worked for a volunteer agency, and one of my best friends when I worked for the London Transport Police as part of the agency, you know, he was the liaison between the actual police and the agency, and I had to talk to him a lot. And basically, I just he was trying to teach me Hindi, even though I said to him, I don't really want to know Hindi. He basically would still say, this is this, and that is like, you know, that means rail in Hindi. And I'm like, yeah, that's great. So basically, but he'd do that all the fucking time, and it would drive me crazy, and that's why I know some Hindi. So yeah. When I pick up German, I was trying to learn German in school. In high school, basically, they had French they tried to teach us French, Spanish, and German. And French, I no. It's a lot of roundabout ways of actually saying the words that you want to say, which pissed me off. German is very simplified, and basically it's where we get a lot of English from. So I basically figured out how it worked, and then I could actually figure out German a lot easier than French or Spanish. In Spanish, basically, I wasn't great at French. I locked my French teacher in a supply closet.
What? What'd they do?
She was just a bitch. She was a bitch, and I was a young teenager, just because that's the first one that they try to teach you in English high schools. Is they do 1 year of French, 1 year of Spanish, 1 year of German, and then they basically teach you whatever one that you pick. It's an elective for the remaining years. So yeah. And basically, I didn't learn anything. But yeah, I didn't pick up. I didn't actually do the elective. So I think I was like either history or geography that I picked instead of another language. So yeah. Yeah. I'd rather have like it been mandatory. To learn to pick one and then stick with it instead of having to pick between like that or history.
Yeah.
I did really good on history. I was actually really like I know I shouldn't really be proud of this because it's kind of stupid, but I was actually picked from the class to actually go to a couple of like they tried to get you to go to enroll in like universities and stuff or college after you basically go to high school, and they pick very, very few people. It's basically a scholarship. They basically are picking you for scholarships. And me and my best friend at the time, basically, like me and her, we were the only two picked in the entire school year, which was awesome. And we got to go to a couple of universities and a couple of colleges, as well as being specially selected to actually go to really old places. We went to where Henry VIII lived. Went to like Tudor Hall and stuff like that, and it was like it was kind of cool at the time, but now looking back at it, it's actually really lame and nerdy. Because I was like really, really pleased and happy about it. But like I said, now I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, I was basically just like, yeah, it's kind of stupid.
That's fine. I mean,
learning the lettering and the way that the royals, basically the Tudor royals, did their signatures was also done at one of the universities. They actually had the old texts and everything, and they gave us copies and stuff, and they basically said, "Could you read this?" And like she couldn't, but I could make out the letters, but she couldn't make out what they fucking said. Basically, because language has evolved since then, and it was like. Yeah. It was really bad. By the way, just so you know, Tudor, the way that if Tudor people talk the way that they write, holy fuck, did it sound awful. It would basically be like talking to a 3-year-old, just the way that they talk. That's basically how they wrote. That's how a 3-year-old would talk. It's terrible.
Sounds horrible.
It was it was painful. I mean, it was enjoyable because I like to mimic how they actually wrote their characters and letters and stuff. And by the way, Elizabeth I, I could totally nail her signature on both hands. It basically is just Elizabeth in fancy writing in cursive, and then lots of wavy lines on the bottom. That's literally all it is. So yeah, but yeah, they talk like they talk like how you'd think a dog would talk. It's terrible. I'm trying to give a good example, but I got to make it. Because this was actually written, you know, this was part of a book that we did, but I'm just trying to see how if I can translate the book into real life context, you know. So like we would say, oh, I'm just gonna close the door, and it's basically like they'd be like close the door, maybe, kind of, sort of. Like if they're going to ask a question, they would add a bunch of words on the end of the sentence to ask the question. Why? Why would you do this? It's like they're still asking without actually pausing. It's then anyway. Yeah, it's terrible. It's like Doug from Up. Oh, and the Tudor English is just terrible because basically they would be very, very frank with you immediately after meeting you. It's like you know, if you were going to meet your butcher, then basically and not in the cool sense of like they would tell you your intentions and ask you if you would like to go to bed with them. I mean, in the context of they would basically tell you boring shit about their life. So if you're like, are you the butcher? And then they'll be like, yes, I am the butcher. I cut the meat and I lay it on this slab and I cut it some more. And it's like, that's fine. I just need some sausage. Here are your sausages. They came from a pig that I killed 2 days ago. So that's great. Can you just take the money already, please? Sorry, get out of it. It would just be like that, though. They all talked like that. It must have been hell, you know.
That was it the Aston hamburger sketch. I used to be a cow. Oh.
Oh, yeah. Miss, you gotta pay for that. Nope. You got to pay for your meal. Nope. Wow. History. Shut up.
Well, you know, I mean, Indiana Jones, even though he was like considered like what one of the like iconic movie characters of all time now, he's still just like, I remember just watching the movies for the first time and being all like, you guys know he's just like a major dork, right? Like the first, I think I was watching the first movie, and whenever he just like, I think he like flipped something or something like that, or like he grabbed something like that the people stole, and it was just like, this needs to be in a museum, or this belongs in a museum. I was just like, nerd.
I mean, kind of, but he's stealing, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah. No, well, I mean, that's the thing, though. I mean, it's just like he's still like kind of doing good because he's like taking back things from other people who are trying to like sell them off for like high money or whatever. It's just like, yeah.
But he threw a guy off of a blimp. But he threw a guy off of a blimp. So not really boring. I mean, he does admit that part of his life is he's a dork, but you know.
I didn't say he was boring. I just said he was a dork. I mean, dorks can be like very, very, you know, cool, adventurous people. So kind of, you know. Like jokes and nerds and stuff. It's just another word for being like really, really academically, intellectually inclined. So.
I'm a geek, says Chris. Okay.
There was a little comic about like the whole distinction between like geeks and nerds. Whereas geek people are people who like know a lot about just like their special interests, like a show or movie or like anything like that. Where nerds would be more, they know more about like academic stuff, I guess, or whatever. And the comic went on to ask, okay, so then a dork would be somebody who makes the distinction between the two. And they were like, yes, that is what dork is.
I don't like to put myself in a box or anything, so basically it's like, it's just a label.
I mean,
I know shit.
I used to think of labels as that too, but all labels, like, I don't know. I mean, a friend like kind of brought this up to me with me the other day as well, because I used to like really hate the ideas of labels and stuff like that. But all they really are is just like, it makes it easier to kind of describe yourself and understand like who you are and like what's important to you, I guess. So I mean, labels can be a bad thing just because of like stereotypes that come with them, but it can also be a good thing. You know?
They also come with a bunch of assumptions, which is just great.
Yeah.
I absolutely hate it when people like label me as something without actually knowing if I'm actually that thing. That pisses me off so much.
Yeah. I understand what you mean.
I'd rather they find out for themselves and then they can maybe use the label. It's like I'm trying to give a good example. It's really annoying. Yes, that's annoying. I know, right? That actually happened to me from a person. Because I don't know who they are or what they are. On for Affinity, actually, just like the message before Hellboy's message about his motorcycle thing came from a person who basically said, like, are you some chick that basically just likes fat dudes? Because I see a lot of fat furs on your page. I'm just like, there are pictures of me on my page. That's also why I also posted a picture of me. So that's more or less what I look like. Yeah. But it just pissed me off so much that they made this person obviously just like I don't know. I don't think they did it to just me. I'm sure they've done it to other people in the past. They just message people, just assuming that they know their gender and their thing, their sexuality and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then they basically judge them on it just because they don't like fat furs and stuff.
Yeah, actually, I've never told you this, but there was actually somebody who had messaged me as well. They were asking about you, and like, because they seem to notice a pattern with like, I guess like people that you talk to and like the crowd you run with, and they're talking about like how it seems to be just like mainly bigger dudes, and I'm trying to like, I'm basically telling them that they have the wrong idea and they have to like get to know you and try and get to know your interests and like not just go around making assumptions based on what they see. So.
But who the crap?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was kind of weird too because I don't know, like I suppose, and I mean, I would consider myself a good friend. So, and they obviously thought that. So I'm just like, okay, I guess we'll do this. And it's so funny too because they're kind of beating around the bush a little bit at first, and then they kind of just went straight into it. And I'm just like, okay, I don't know. It's just weird.
So they were messaging you asking a bunch of questions about me.
Yeah.
How long ago was this?
When was this? This was.
Yeah, hi, Panda Fox.
This was maybe like weeks ago or something.
You haven't told me until just now? Jesus.
What? Well, I mean, I don't know. I didn't wanna like offend you or anything, or offend like.
It wouldn't offend me. What's?
I didn't know how to respond to this or like how to take this. I was just kind of like confused. So.
Okay.
Was one of the people on the Discord server, so I'm just like, I don't know. So.
Okay, but it still sounds like something that you should like tell me about right away if anybody does that, because they might be, information mining. Which can lead to doxing and blackmail and all that stuff.
Well, they weren't asking personal questions.
No, but they don't ever start with the personal questions. That's the thing. But yeah, I actually get this a lot on like grammar and stuff. Is that basically there'll be a lot of not a lot. I mean, in general, overall, there has been a lot of like skinny guys and chaser types that basically are just like, I know you're not really interested in me, or I know you only like bigger dudes, or something like that, and it's just like making a lot of assumptions, you know. And I do actually just say to them usually outright that I'm all about personality, and I found that essentially bigger guys are already slightly not normal, with just because they're being bigger, then they are bigger. So basically, they are considered by social spheres as not being normal. It's not the norm to be large, and so basically they don't really have much hang-ups about it and talking about it and stuff like that. So on Grommer, that is definitely the case where they basically they're basically super open and honest about everything that they talk about usually.
Yeah.
Or they're very, very reserved. It's either one way or the other. They're extremely reserved and they don't really talk to you anyway. So it's like, But, you know, if you don't have enough confidence to basically just say that I think that you might be interested in me because of this and this, then basically it's like, it kind of is a bit of a downer when it comes to and all the assumptions kind of like is a bit of a downer when it comes to talking to like skinny dudes or chasers. And again, that's not all of them, but I just found that seems to happen to me a lot. It's only because basically they hang around with me more. That's literally the only reason. Bigger dudes hang around with me more.
Yeah, I suppose.
No, that's what happens. I've been to Gromoffs and shit. I've been to and essentially it's usually like the bigger dudes, of which there are usually few, tend to be like in one place of the Gromoff, and then like all of the skinny guys seem to be around the outside of the bigger dudes.
It sounds like a confidence thing as well.
Probably.
I mean, like, I guess, like, I suppose it's a thing as well as being just like, you see a person you like, and you're like, but also they're kind of intimidating as well. It's just like,
But then again, I'm a teddy bear.
Mm-hmm.
Most big guys are teddy bears. I don't know. It's just it always seems to be funny when, especially like chubby chasers or feeders, basically have a problem talking to bigger guys. It's kind of like it's there's something wrong with that, you know. So, but that's your whole. That's the whole point of you. Yeah. If you can't talk to bigger guys and you like bigger guys, then learn to talk to bigger guys. You get a hell of a lot of that, and especially you do see that at the Gromoff meetings and stuff like that. There's a hell of a lot of the guys that claim to be chasers and claim to be like into big guys or gainers or anything, and then they leave with the other skinniest guy in the room, and it's like, it's almost like they like the idea of it, but not actually the practice. But yeah,
yeah.
And again, that's overgeneralizing a lot, so I'm just not going to do that. Panafox says, Tubbs, I have a sketch I want you to see. Well, you know what to do. There's a guy on DeviantArt that basically does that to me, like all the time. It's like, can I show you something? And it's like, oh my god, I've known you for like 3 years. You know, we critique each other all the time. Why can't you just send it to me and then say, could you let me know what you think of this? You know, son of a bitch. I'm not saying that you're annoying, Panda Fox. I'm just saying that you know what to do. I'm saying he's annoying. I'm not saying you're annoying. I'm saying that guy's annoying. I think he knows he's annoying. I mean it. I think he literally only does it to me now, after 3 years, because basically he knows it bugs me. Can I show you something? Oh my god, yes, just do it. Oh my god. Like, if you read our messages backwards and forwards to each other, it's hysterical. I love that you're a teddy bear, Tubbs. Oh, thanks, Chris. I am going. Hugs are my favorite.
I do that all the time. I do that all the time. That's like literally me, because like I feel like I have to ask for permission for stuff. I remember this was one time, like, I was getting intimate with like a guy, and like this happened like back in college, and it wasn't that we were together or anything. We're just friends, and like they asked him if I could get him, and he told me right then and there to get off. It was so hilarious. So let's get back on it now.
Yeah. Chris says, can I show you something? Yes. Are you sure? Yeah, that's basically that. Yeah, that is that guy. That is basically that guy. Chris, are you that guy? Are you that guy? That's basically a transcript of one of our messages, at least. Like I said, I'm pretty sure he knows that he's just messing with me now, because I've, you know, on more than one occasion, I basically have said, as I said to him, you know, no. Can I show you something? No. And he'll basically send it to me anyway and said, well, let me know what you think of it anyway. Why? And Chris is saying, no.
Oh, hurt me. No. I was just thinking of I know I'm saying things out of context, but I was just thinking of a thing I was reading, like, you know, like a guy was talking about how there's this other guy who's super interested, and then was like, oh, hurt me, daddy, and the other guy's just like, no.
Like, leave me alone.
Leave me
I want you to do unspeakable things to me. That's great. Could you go away from me, please?
No, I just like the whole idea of just like the begging, and then just like getting all like, no, I'm not going to. You stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was somebody that was trying to get a favor out of me when I was working in the frozen food warehouse place, and basically it was just like they were doing the following me around and asking me like you know, like I could pull double shifts for you and stuff like that, and I'm doing all of that stuff, you know, basically saying, and it's like, and then he was just like, you know what, I know what you want. Do you know what you want? And I was like, so many things. Yeah. And for some reason he giggled and then he just stopped talking. I was like, well, I was like, well, I'm not going to list all of my desires to you. Essentially, you can't give me what I need or want right now, so please leave me alone. And he was just like, okay, no. I was just like, oh, God damn it. He basically wanted some space in the warehouse, and I couldn't allocate the space because we literally had no more space. It was just like, I was done telling him this, and he just wouldn't. He was just trying to suggest like ways that we could move the unhelpful suggestions, basically. And it was just like, please go away. It's just like, I mean it. I was in the break room and I was playing my Game Boy or something, and he was still there talking to me. He's like, you know what? Maybe we could put some stuff up here in the break room. I was like, yeah, no, please. There's nothing I can do.
Can't do it.
I was about to basically tell his manager to like get him away from me because I was on the verge of throwing him out a window or something. I don't know. Just, yeah. I hid in a service elevator once to get away from him. That was quite funny. When I went down the stairs, I put something in the service elevator and I went down the stairs, and then basically like and I heard him following me down the stairs. So what I did was I quickly opened on the shop floor. I quickly opened the service elevator, removed all the stuff except for one box, which I moved out of the way from the window of the service elevator, and I hid behind it. And then basically like I could see that the lighting had changed outside of the service elevator after I shut the door. So he must have just assumed that I disappeared with this box somewhere. I felt so clever and so relieved at the same time, especially when I opened the door and there was like nobody there, and I was like, oh thank God. I used to get people bugging me all the fucking time. But that's what happens when you're a manager. People want shit from you all the time.
It sounds horrible. I'd never want to be a manager ever.
Well, most people get the message when you say no. But, you know, there are people that are just irritating fucks. Like I get a knock on my office door like 8 years later, and basically like just think it's Damon, and I open the door and he'll be there, and I'll be like, oh my God, I don't even work there anymore. Leave me alone. What was I doing with my phone? Oh yeah, I need to update. I need to upload all of the pictures from my phone to Instagram. It's a lot. Actually, how many more do I have? Oh my God.
1,000.
No, I just got a picture of Chris.
Oh, okay.
Not that Chris.
Okay.
Winking at me. Okay. Anyway.
It's a sex picture.
Basically. What was the last picture I uploaded to Instagram? Oh, I know what it was. Yeah, I don't have to worry about it. Okay. So I can literally start uploading the pictures from here onto Instagram, so that's good. So where's this picture, Panda Fox?
He still hasn't said that to you?
I haven't got anything.
Mm.
Where did you send it? Oh, well, did you send it to Twitter? Nope. I've been waiting for this picture for ages. That's yeah. This whole conversation has been half me actually talking and half me kind of stalling because I've been waiting for this picture. And I've got to go eat soon because my belly keeps growling at me.
Oh.
By the way, Chris, when you're here, you better not pull that shit with me where basically you try to keep me hungry just to hear my belly gurgle and growl. Because I'm going to be pissed if you do that. You're like, oh no, this drive-thru is closed too.
That's not one thing to have anxiety about, is it?
What?
It's not one thing to have anxiety about, is it?
Having anxiety about?
Yeah.
No. Not having enough food when Chris is around? I don't think that's going to be a thing, right, Chris? Chris? Stop laughing at me. Not you, Chris. Chris is laughing at me. Now I'll keep it keep it full so it'll make happy growl sounds. Same thing to me. Okay.
Oh.
He's good. I can deal with that. That's fine. Yeah, see. I know the plan.
I'm going to be able to deal with hungry friends. I remember having a couple of my friends over. This was like, I don't know when this was. I think it was like a few years ago. And like, I had a couple of my friends over. And like, I was making them sandwiches basically because they were hungry. And I was just like, I should make you guys something to eat. And like one of them was like vegetarian basically, so like maybe one with like egg and bacon and toasted and all good. I made one with like lettuce and tomato and stuff.
I did have a feeder friend who basically invited me over for a feeding, and basically was like, took forever to make the meal. Like I was, I was there under the assumption that basically the food was going to be ready to eat. You know. But no, he wanted to talk while I was sitting in his kitchen basically while he was cooking. And he basically had he was just standing there with the food on the counter and he was just talking to me for ages, and I was just like, "Oh my god, please, can I just have pasta wood?" It was just I don't mind talking to you, but for fuck's sake, could you put the pasta into the fucking water already? I was getting so wound up. But yeah, I get hangry I get that. I get cranky.
Angry. I don't mind buying food in Vegas, by the way, Chris. If you would cook for us, that'd be awesome.
What?
What?
Cook? What?
What?
What you just said, that doesn't make sense.
What do you mean?
There's not going to be much cooking.
I want Chris to cook for us. What's weird about that?
I mean, they do have a kitchen, Chris, but like I said, what? You get a microphone. You get a microwave.
Oh no. No, well.
He says, "Where would I cook?" It just doesn't. I don't get it.
All the way out of the room.
But it's not about the layout of the room. It's the fact that we're going to a hotel on vacation. You want somebody to cook.
Yeah.
Well,
So
that's the big question mark. I don't get what. Why would you? I would totally cook for you guys if I had a grill.
Chris's food. I mean, what's weird about that?
We're not going to. We're not going to go to a friend's house.
Some people enjoy cooking.
Right, but we're not going to go to a friend's house to basically. We're going to stay at a hotel. They've only got a microwave at the best.
Okay.
Panda Fox says, "How do you cook in a hotel, Howard?" Yeah. Some hotels do have kitchens, but this one is just it's very basic kitchen. It doesn't have a stove.
Okay. No.
And I'm answering Panda Fox's. Panda Fox is asking. He says that hotel doesn't have a kitchen.
Yeah. But I didn't know it didn't have a stove and stuff. So.
It's just a weird. It is a slightly weird request to basically whilst on holiday, ask somebody to cook for you. You know, that isn't a restaurant or something.
It isn't a weird request to ask somebody to cook because you want to try their food. I mean, what?
No. It's not a weird request to ask somebody to cook when you want to try their food. It's a weird request while you're on vacation with that person to basically ask them to cook you something. That is an odd request.
No, not to me. It's not food because I want to try like stuff that they make, and stuff that they do.
No, I'm not saying it's part of debate. I'm literally saying it's a weird request.
It's No, it's not.
It's factual.
It's weird to you.
I mean, it is weird to me, but clearly other people too.
Okay, but still, it's just weird to you.
Okay,
Yeah.
so well, just a scenario, an actual scenario. So we're basically on holiday, and you're asking, you're on holiday, you're in a hotel room that doesn't really have an adequate kitchen, and you basically ask a friend that you are staying with in that hotel, you know, I would like you to cook for, I'd like to try some of your cooking now. That's weird. That never happens. That's all I was saying. Hey, Dreamy. What is up, Dreamy? Don't know why this is a big deal. It's not a big deal. Oh, so you're telling me to stop? Well, yeah. You can't do that. You know how I feel about people telling me what to do.
Okay. What about how I feel about people telling me that stuff I do and stuff I say are weird?
Well, sometimes people say stuff that's weird.
Okay, but it's me.
Right, but anybody could say something that's weird, and you can basically tell them that that's weird.
And anybody can tell you stuff that will piss you off because it gets on your nerves and it's one of your pet peeves.
No, it depends what they tell me.
Okay, well, it's the same thing for me. If people tell me that something I do or something I say is weird, it gets on my nerves.
But what if it is weird?
But it's not to me, that's the point.
Well, bummer. It's weird to me and a lot of other people.
Yeah, but it's weird to you. That's why you're making such a big deal of it right now. Like, right now.
But it clearly isn't just weird to me. I'm reading also the comments and stuff.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that. Why are you making a big deal of it? Because,
I'm not making a big deal out of it.
It's like
you're making a big deal out of it by continue talking about it.
You are making a big deal of it because I don't know.
Well, I was completely ready to end the topic of conversation about it, and then you're talking about it again. So.
Because I was asking you.
I was reading basically. He was asking me what.
Never mind. Don't worry. Don't worry about it.
Okay then.
Doesn't matter.
Okay then. I was totally just going to talk to Dreamy about his stuff, but then I was reading what Panda Fox wrote, and then what Owen wrote. So basically, yeah. Anyway, Dreamy says class was boring, but now I have a large plate of food. Ah, teasing. Why are you teasing me? Panafoxes, but you're talking to everyone in general. I know Panafox. Oh, what food? Food sounds good, Jacob, says Chris. Are you guys going to just talk about food until I leave? Is that basically what's going to happen now? Are you really trying to torture me? Panafox, if you're still around, I still haven't seen that stupid picture. I'm not saying the picture's stupid. I'm saying it's kind of stupid that you asked me to look at something and then you didn't show it to me. But he's probably gone. I would only want to play with as much as possible. Two sides. Oh, you bastard! You're talking about food. I'm not going to read any more food stuff. I'm just not. Okay, I'm not going to read it. I'm going to get to a bit of food, and then I'm just not going to read anymore. So, I'm sure it's lovely dreaming. Oh yeah, why did you like that? Howard.
Yeah.
Why did you like that?
No, because like, basically it just kind of makes it all right somehow that everybody else finds it weird that I asked a friend to basically make something, because I thought it'd be nice to basically try his food, even though we were on vacation.
Well, that's not actually what you wrote. What you said is, I love how Chris said basically I didn't mind cooking.
Okay. That's fine.
I'm sure Chris doesn't mind cooking. I'm going to cook in just a few moments' time. I take it as a compliment. Yeah. It's good for... Oh, you stop it, Dreamy. How do you fuck up breakfast? Oh my god, you're gonna talk. You are just gonna talk about food, guys. Oh my god. Keep going. I'm not gonna read it. Oh. Sorry, no more food. And you spelled food so that I'd read it. I like that. Food. So weather is cool. Okay, no more food talk. Well, it doesn't. Like I said, it doesn't really matter now, to be honest, because I am actually gonna go cook. We can cook. So that'd be cool. I do not know what I'm doing when I come back. I probably will be doing some editing of pictures and stuff for the picked up picture video thing. But yeah. And now you're just talking about the weather. You guys are predictable. Next thing you're going to talk about is music. I actually want to stick around and see if you should actually talk about music now. Damon's still in town? Well, yeah, he's right over there. Oh no.
I think I better go before the conversation just gets really weird and everybody just starts talking about random stuff.
Okay. But I'm leaving anyway soon. Oh, shit. Why did I put my arm up? Why? Okay. I'm listening to the... oh my god, yes. See, I told you. Didn't I say to Howard just now that they were talking about music? It's happening. Right, no, that's it. No, I'm not doing it. Belly rubs, guys. Empty belly rubs. And belly salute. Oh, and belly itch. I'm going to have my food, and then I'm going to have a shower, and then I'm going to come back and do the picture editing on my computer. And we'll see what we can do about doing a watch along. I don't know. I haven't figured that part out yet. I've heard good things about. Oh, right, yeah. And Panda folks, if you come back or watch the replay or anything, please send me the picture that you're talking about. I'm actually really super curious now about whatever that was. Toodles. Toodles. I didn't actually say anything after I said toodles.